I told you that you could dramatically improve your health without losing a single pound on the scale. And no, that's not the keto diet I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the carnivore, not the calorie obsession. This isn't about eating less. It's about changing the type of fat your body carries. Stick with me because once you understand this, weight loss will finally make sense. As a physician, I have worked with thousands of patients, from busy professionals to high performers who did everything right. Yet their health markers stayed stuck. And over time, one pattern kept showing up again and again. And the real problem wasn't weight. And that real problem was their visceral fat. Now, what is visceral fat? Visceral fat is not the fat you can pinch. It's the fat that wraps around your organs, your liver, your pancreas, your kidneys, your intestine. And unlike subcutaneous fat, the visceral fat is metabolically active. That means it releases inflammatory chemicals like cytokines into your bloodstream. And when you have increased cytokines, that leads to insulin resistance. It drives the chronic inflammation, and it raises your heart disease, the chances of diabetes, dementia, and some of the cancers. This type of fat, it acts like a disease-producing organ than the stored energy. So you can lose weight and not reduce your visceral fat. And you can reduce visceral fat without losing weight. Because the scale doesn't tell you what kind of tissue you are losing. And this is why people diet, they lose pounds and still have metabolic diseases. I have seen many clients who are thin, but they have very high chance of cardiovascular disease. And their blood vessels, they are full of atherosclerotic plaques, which are the fat and the inflammation inside your blood vessels. Now, I worked with a patient who lost over 10 pounds in a caloric deficit. But when we reviewed his body composition, his visceral fat hasn't changed. Why? Because visceral fat doesn't respond well to the caloric math alone. It responds to your inflammation, to your gut signaling, and food quality. Once we changed what he ate, not just how much, his visceral fat dropped by over 60%. Researchers have compared different diets to see which ones shrink visceral fat. Are you ready for that? So I'm going to reveal you what kind of diet will help you lose that visceral fat, the dangerous fat which is inside your body. A general healthy diet barely moved visceral fat, but the standard Mediterranean diet did better. Now the diet which I'm gonna tell you about is optimized Mediterranean diet, which is rich in polyphenols, which has the biggest impact on the visceral fat. Now, polyphenols are the plant compounds which are found in certain foods like dark berries, green tea, leafy green vegetables, nuts, and seeds. These compounds, they interact with your gut microbiome, producing metabolites that improve your insulin sensitivity, and it reduces your inflammation. Think of polyphenols as instructions your gut sends to your metabolism. They train your metabolism, and when fed the right fiber and polyphenols, they produces the compound which improve your fat burning, which improve your metabolism, which reduces your inflammation, and specifically target the visceral fat. Now, what we need to reduce in our diet is also important to note that if you are consuming alcohol, then you have to cut it off. You have to cut off the ultra-processed food and added sugars, emulsifiers that disrupt your gut lining. Adequate protein to preserve the muscle and metabolism is important. You can include dark berries daily for polyphenols and green tea for catechins that support your visceral fat oxidation. Leafy greens to volume meals without blood sugar spikes, and you can also include fermented foods and seeds to nourish your microbiome. And this isn't restriction, it's a strategic substitution. And that's what I emphasize in my programs at Zero Vitality. We also align meals with your circadian biology. Eating at consistent times, it trains your hunger hormones, and late night eating keeps insulin elevated. Early protein intake, it stabilizes your appetite. That's why we emphasize on the protein first in our meal plans. So we pair this with resistant training like walking and weights, short bursts of high intensity movements, and these forms of exercises preferentially reduce your visceral fat while preserving the lean mass. So visceral fat does not disappear overnight. It takes your consistent efforts. If you want to learn more about that in the next 90 days, how to lose your visceral fat and get to your best shape ever before the summer start, then comment below fat and I will send you my weight loss, visceral fat loss guide to help you lose weight and the blueprint which I'm using in many of my clients. I'm Dr. Neeta Sharma. I'm double board certified nephrologist and metabolic health expert. And if you like this video, please share it with your loved ones who can also benefit from it.